Hi, I'm Lincoln. Today I want to show you how to put some wheels onto an EDP16. First, let's go over the parts a little bit. We've got an axle that we'll be using. We've got a caster support plate, bag of hardware, caster, and a pair of wheels. That and our EDP16. Also, there's a box that'll come in if you're getting a brand new unit with gauges and stuff. That's in a separate video. We'll watch that at another time. Today we're just working on the wheels. The equipment you'll need: screwdriver with a standard bit. You could probably get by with an adjustable wrench and a pair of pliers, but I'm planning ahead today, so I've gotten actual crescent wrenches, a 1/2 inch and a 7/16, and a 1/2 inch socket. Make things a little bit easier for me. First thing we're going to do is we're going to clear up a little room here, because the easiest way to work on this is to stand it upright. The unit's well balanced on its frame, so it won't fall over on you, and this way you've got good access. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use the screwdriver here to remove the 4 rubber feet, and I'm using my 7/16 crescent wrench to hold the nut. Once we get started, we remove it, and we save this hardware. We're not going to use the rubber foot again, but we're going to use a lot of the nuts and bolts involved. It's important to keep a hold of your lock nuts and your flat washers because, let's face it, this unit's going to vibrate a lot. And the lock washer is what's holding all the screws together during the vibrations. Okay, first thing we'll take a look at is putting on the wheels. Now, the wheels could go really at either end. There is no true front and back. It's totally up to you. I'll select to put it at this end. What we need to do in order to keep these on is we need to put under the head of the screw, we got to put the lock washer and then a flat washer. What that'll do for us is that'll give a flat surface for the lock washer so that it can lock, and then it starts threading into the axle. We get the other one set up at the opposite end. And then we start to tighten things down. This is a 1/4 20 screw, so you can give it a little bit of heft on your torque. You want to make sure that you flattened the lock washers, the one thing for sure. Well, that's kind of hard to do from behind. Obviously, if you're not in a video, you can walk around to the other side to do this part. Okay, so we got those on. Now we'll take the wheels. Now if you look at the wheels, you see there's one side where the hub is sticking out and another side where it's back in. You want the protruded side towards the frame. That keeps your wheels away from the frame. They just slide on, and we reach into our goodie bag here. And we got a pair of cotter pins that look somewhat like bobby pins. We just slide those in, and that keeps the wheels from coming off the edge. Okay, now you got wheels on both sides. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the caster to the caster plate. We've got bolts, lock washers, and nuts in the bag. Okay. Since the holes here are elongated, we don't want to put the lock washer on that side. If it gets down in the elongated part, we don't really get the compression we need to hold it together. So I like to put the bolts up from below, but you really could put the bolts from the top or the bottom as long as the lock washer's on this side. And you can do this up in the assembly, or you can do it ahead of time where it's just laying in front of you on a table. I find this to be more convenient. And again, when you torque this down, you want to make sure you get it strong enough that you're closing up the lock washers. This is a 1/2-inch crescent wrench and a 1/2-inch socket. If you've got it, again, adjustable wrench or pliers can do the job. Just who's got the right tools. All right, now we're going to install it in here. Now the plate goes above the rail as the axle went below the rail. We've got our favorite screws again, but this time, yeah, we'll take the screws from the top. You could probably go either way on the lock washers because you'll have a good fit on both sides. Where's that hole? All right, there we go. And then we add a flat washer because the rail's not really a flat surface. So the flat washer can go up against the lock washer and then the nut. We'll get that started. And then we'll start the other side. There we go. Get that started through. Adding the lock washer, flat washer, then the lock washer, then the nut. And again, that was a 7/16 nut, so if you got a crescent wrench, you can hold it with that. And tighten it down until you flatten out the lock washer. And I'll reach across here. All right, tighten things up. We've got left over our four rubber legs we don't need. 2 nuts are left over. Don't be surprised. We roll it back, and now it's portable. It's that easy, and you're done. Thank you very much. caster, and a pair of wheels. Caster, and a pair of wheels.